Gone are the days of moving without a purpose, of wanting to achieve a goal and not actually taking the steps to do them, of wanting to achieve something and do something with your life while not having the idea of how to get there in the first place. I recently graduated college and I don't have a full-time role lined up, knock on wood, for that. But at the moment, I've been feeling a little bit stuck on where I want to be and how I want to spend my time to be the person that I strive myself to be, or I envision myself to be. And for so long, I struggled with finding what that person was in the first place and to be able to create the goals that I really want in my life. There was a study done at Dominican University showing that when students and participants wrote down their goals, they were 76% more likely to achieve those goals at the end than they were if they just thought about them. But I think journaling is so much more than just writing down your goals and trying to find the solution. It helps you rethink your thoughts and rephrase them to understand how you think and how you react to things. There was another study done by Pennebaker that showed that when psychologists use journaling to help PTSD and depressed patients really understand their stories that they went through, it helped them with their cognitive processing to really formulate the story of their past and understand what happened in that moment and how they can move on from it. Additionally, if you're like me, who recently I could not fall asleep because my mind is constantly racing at night, journaling, especially your gratitude, can help out to calm your mind. It has shown to make people fall asleep a little bit better. I know journaling can be daunting and scary, especially if you don't know exactly what to do, but these are 4 tips that have really helped me tap into this strategy and to help me understand where I am in life and where I want to be in life. Now, this first strategy is more of a no-brainer. It's literally just to journal for 5 to 10 minutes straight. Think of more of a stream of consciousness writing in general. What this does is it allows you to get your thoughts out without any judgment. Really, what you want to do is surrender to the practice, because you can't change yourself consciously, especially your mindset and the way you think about things. You literally need to win by surrendering to whatever you're doing. And I think that constantly writing for 5 to 10 minutes at a time, literally just set a timer and go, will really help you to get to where you want to be. What's more important about this practice in general, though, is not only the process of writing itself, but once you're done, once the timer rings, actually go back to read it and analyze exactly what you wrote. Now, to make it easier on ourselves, especially because our lives are so much dictated by technology, and with the rise of AI, it's really easy for you to do this now. All you gotta do, if you wrote it down, you could take a picture, send it to ChatGPT or any other AI that you use, or even if you wrote this down on like a Google Docs or a Word document, just copy paste that into some sort of large language model to summarize it for you and to get those main instances from you. And let's be so real, a lot of people use AI now for their therapy. So honestly, this is nothing new. But what I really find valuable about this practice is that it reveals new perspectives about yourself that you just genuinely didn't know before. Now, the second task actually builds off of the first one. Once you do have that free write and you have summarized what you have written, or AI has summarized what you have written, take one of those ideas and start asking repeated questions on that. What this helps you to do is it helps you to isolate how you're exactly feeling about that one specific thing. These can be, why do I feel this way? Am I feeling this way because I went to bed late? Am I feeling this way because I had an argument with a coworker the other day? These questions can be more yes or no questions to really help you understand what's going on. But I think what's really valuable in order to get it from that big funnel of, okay, what are we even working with here, down to the nitty-gritty of, okay, this is the root problem, it's easier to start out with those open-ended questions, who, what, when, where, why, how, and then move down into those yes or no questions. What's really cool about this strategy is that it's not just used in personal situations, it's actually used in the real world. Last summer, as a manufacturing engineer, I had to work with root cause analysis a lot, and a lot of engineers have to deal with that as well. Trying to understand a problem wholly to really understand what parts are at play to create something that could be a distraction. This is widely used in Toyota's problem-solving method. It's called the 5 whys, and it really helps to nail down the root of a problem for something. For example, for a broken engine, engineers ask 5 different why questions, each building off of another, to understand that the process where this thing went wrong was because too much heat was built up within that engine. Asking those 5 questions won't just help you understand what's going on and what the root of the problem is. It'll also allow yourself to take a step back and really look at what you're dealing with and what you're thinking about in a wholehearted situation, which is incredibly important for understanding how you think. If you're anything like me and you're continuously asking yourself, what do I do if I don't even know what I want to do with my life? This is where you write down what you don't want out of your life. I've had so many mentors say to me, jump into experiences that you've never really been in before, try to understand what you like about those experiences, but more importantly, what you don't like about them so that you don't repeat them in the future. So this next hack or tip when it comes to journaling is writing down those statements or quote unquote anti-requirements. These statements can be somewhere along the lines of, I don't want to have to commute 2 hours to and from work every single day. I don't want to feel burned out. I don't want to feel frustrated and unhappy with my job at work. I know those are a little bit more broad, but this is also another important step when it comes to creating devices or systems within engineering. It's a specific sector called systems engineering. Within systems engineering, a lot of what makes a product is creating requirements. These usually start with the words such as shall or should. Shall means that it has to be done. Should means it's a really nice thing to have, like a good criteria to have, but it doesn't necessarily need to be a part of the system in order for it to make it work. In order to create these anti-requirements though, we're gonna be using the word shall not, meaning it has to not happen in our future. In biomedical engineering, this example can mean the sensor module should not exceed 41 degrees Celsius during skin operation to prevent burn. For drug delivery, the infusion pump should not exceed a rate of X milliliters per second when delivering drugs, so it prevents overdose. Or in more of a diagnostic setting, the imaging system shall not store images for more than 24 hours to comply with HIPAA so that the images don't get out to anyone, and also to increase security measures. Just like how you don't want things to happen in your life, these shall not statements make sure that the preventable does not happen. In your own practice, this can look something like, I shall not ignore my own boundaries for my own personal safety. That could mean I want to set my boundary for myself to take care of myself. So I will not stay up on my phone reading to ignore the 7 hours of sleep that I know I need to have. Or I shall not continue to be in an environment that drains my energy, whether that be in your own personal life, with friends and with family, or at work. And I know there's some nuance to that as well, because sometimes you can't really change what you're doing for work, but honestly, it's all about the mindset. And I really hope that these shall not anti-statements really help you understand how you're approaching life and what your mindset is so that you can make those small changes in order to improve it and hopefully improve your life as well. This 4th strategy is actually my personal favorite because when I was in my own therapy, my therapist told me to do this and it changed how I moved about my life for at least the short amount of time that I was with her. And this strategy is to really think ahead and envision your future self. I know this is so much similar to manifesting, but I'm not even joking. Manifesting by physically writing down what you want to achieve and who you want to be will give you bounds of information on how to get there. And let me explain. What you want to do is look into the future, understand who you want to be, what type of person you want to be, where do you want to be, what type of circle do you want to be in, like especially the types of people and their morals and their outlooks on life, and also how they make you feel. It's really understanding what you want out of life, and from there that builds a little bit of your success mechanism. Now with your success mechanism, what that is you already have a vision in your mind. You already know exactly how to get to where you want. All you really need to do is kind of let go and let it happen. And in my experience, I feel that owning in on those specific properties of what you want to do in your future and who you want to be makes your success mechanism get there a little bit quicker because it has a clear endpoint of where you want to be. And when it comes to envisioning your future, there are a couple main milestones that you should do. One I think would be amazing to do towards the end of a season. Like right now we're halfway through summer, and it would be really easy to say, okay, I want to be here at the end of summer. I think another great thing is looking at a milestone. I know my birthday is in the fall, and it's something that I look forward to. This can be something like Thanksgiving or Halloween. Just think of that next exciting moment in your life and think to yourself, this is where I want to be at that specific holiday. I think it helps with the visualization a little bit. And then finally, I would have to say that you want to do more of a long-term visualization. What do I want to be at the new year? How do I want to feel in the new year? And I think it's a great practice to help you really get to where you want to be. Each of these writing strategies really focuses on a different lens. Free writing unclutters your mind space and allows you to get literally everything out. The 5 whys helps you find that root cause. Your anti-goals protects your energy and your clarity. And then the future envisioning helps you really understand a pathway to how you want to get to where you want to be. In general, you don't need to do everything all at once. I think journaling is more of that iterative process. All you gotta do is just choose one, and don't overthink it. You don't need to have your entire life figured out. Journaling literally helps you figure it out yourself. And I hope that you can take this advice and really use it to build a flourishing circle and a flourishing mindset for how you want to be in your future, because your future really is just one page away. Now, you guys, now to be real with you, I've been wanting to make a video like this for literally ages, and same thing, I did these exact journal prompts like years in the past where I said, oh, I want to be making this video here. And for a certain time period I did, especially last summer, I was on a little TikTok run, and my friends called me a little TikTok influencer, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably done yourselves. But I think that one of the greatest things that journaling has offered me is it allowed me to understand when I'm stuck in life, I just want to create, which is part of the reason why I'm making this. It's one of my creative outlets that I want to start building, and I want to really allow myself to have. So I'm just being real with you guys. This is so new to me, but I really hope you appreciated the video and it inspires you in some way. Have a nice night or day, whatever time of day it is where you are.